Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. If you guys don't remember this 216 that I uploaded a video on when I first got it, I was talking about the belts needing replaced, the Variator. I adjusted the Variator on it. I found some lift linkage for it, and I stuck a snowplow on it. I talked about that in the video that I did on this. I got some belts. They are used. They are not new. But I had a video. I replaced the belts on this tractor. I made a video of it, and I can't find the beginning of that video where I talk about it and I explain how to do it, and I pull the wheel off and I get started. I only was able to find after I pull the wheel off, I'm putting the belts back on it. So, great. So, what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be putting the 216 up on the lift. We're going to pull the old belts off of it and we're going to replace them. Because this tractor is getting bad. It is not, it slips. The belts on it are wore out. I went underneath of it and I tightened down there's a spring under there you can adjust and tighten down, but it helped a little bit, but not a lot. So I think the belts are wore out. So let me go on ahead and we will stick it up on the lift. And we will start pulling it apart and getting it going. Alright you guys, so we got the 216 up on the lift. Now, in order to do it, to get to this, you have to pull this tire off. You don't really have to, but I like to do it. And then in here, you get to the pulley. I'm going to pull that tire off so you guys can see it. So, let me grab my tools. Alright you guys, so we got that up in the air a little bit. I stuck some wood blocks under it. So we're going to pull the snap ring out of it with my pullers. Alright, so we're going to pull this ring out of the center. You have to be careful when you do it, but you don't want to pull too hard on it. You might bend it or stretch it. So let me get on it. And twist it a little bit. Whoever had this before me painted it, so this ring is painted in here. I usually don't pull these out because they're so easy to break, but it's a lot easier than pulling the lug nuts. But lining it back up is a different story. Now I pull tires off things all the time, but I'm doing this method today because this is a lot quicker. Not a fan of it, but so here's that snap ring. Can you guys see it? Yeah, there you go. That's a snap ring. We're gonna put that up here. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. My friend ring. I'm gonna make sure that. Moment of truth. How will this work? I think I'm gonna try A little bit. What is this? Water on the floor. That hurt. Okay. We got the tire off. Now, we're going to go on ahead. We're going to pull this pulley. There's 3 bolts on it that you need to take off. Get you up closer so you guys can see that pulley. This right here, where this belt is. It's spinning over the engine. Alright, let's go in and pull that. The size you will need is a 1/2 inch socket or a 13 millimeter. That is the size of this. Now if we can get this off of here at all. There we go. That's cracked loose. Next. There's our next one. I can hear the gas swooshing in this. There we go. Second and third. Yeah, I would say this belt's a little bit beat. Come on. There we go. Now it's just there's a little gap, there's not a lot of room in between the pulley and the frame. You can't get the belt off back here because of how close this, I can't even fit my finger in there. That's how close this pulley is to this axle. The only real way you can get that off is by pulling the transmission or pull this pulley. Now, pulling the pulley out is a lot easier than dropping the trains. To drop the trains, you got to pull the fenders off. You got to pretty much, you got to pull the pedals off, the clutch, brake. Actually, we may have enough room now to squeeze this out of here. Let's see. Yep, we do. I still want to drop that pulley though. Make things easier. So let me find the last bolt and get that out. Alright, ready? There we go. There's your idler, make sure it spins. I may end up pulling that idler off to grease it, but it seems pretty quiet. Alright, put these bolts back in here, put this over here. So now, let me go on ahead, we're going to pull this belt off. Up front you're going to pull that cover off, so let me do that quick. Alright, let me drop the forks so that we can get to this a lot easier. Alright, let's go on ahead and pull this cover. Right here. Yeah, we're going to need a socket. I think that's an 11 or a 10. That is too. Those are both the same. Can't remember what size they are, but we're going to find out here in a second when I grab my tools. Grab my ratchets. Let's see what size. Like I said, I'm guessing it's a 10. Yep, 10. Alright. Alright. Wrong way. Number one, I'm going to stick these back in the holes once I get the cover off. Oh, this one was bigger. Shits and giggles. Actually is. That one is. Let's see. This ratchet is a little bit more screwed. There we go. That should work. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Perfect. I don't think there's anything else I need to do under here since we have the cover off, but if I do think it's something, I will. So next, I don't know. Is there a way to get the belt off without pulling the PTO? I don't think so. So we're probably gonna have to pull that off. This right here is your PTO. Wow, that's quiet. Alright. No, I don't think there is. Oh. I like whoever wired this thing. Somebody went through here and wired up a whole bunch of new stuff into this tractor. I really love whoever did this. Screwed with it. So I gotta do somebody else's mess, which is great. Ooh, that's melted. Let's see. Well, if there's a way to get it without pulling that, I would like to know. You know what? We're going to pull it, but we're not going to take that wire off. That's probably our best bet. Let's see. What size socket? There we go. Let me grab a... Alright, we got our handy dandy breaker bar. Let's go on ahead and get this off. Oh, wrong way. Get this off. Let me shut this off. Ready? I think we got it. Yeah. There we go, we figured it out. I didn't think I would. There we go. Alright, so now, hopefully, this should come on. Yes, it will. We'll put it over here. I get it. Alright. We're not going to slide anything off. We're just going to try to Actually, what's dripping? This. There we go. That is off. All right. So the way that the Variator is set up, there's two pulleys. I got another tractor I can show you. So this right here is your Variator. There's two pulleys, as you can see. The way the Variator works is this moves right here. This middle piece moves, and it closes in on the belt. That makes the belt raise up higher. This belt goes down in. This belt right here goes to the engine, that's where the pulley on the engine would be. This one goes back to the transmission, to the idler pulley and then the belt, or the idler pulley and then the transmission pulley. Now, this has to move freely. Do not grease this or you will have so many problems. Well, there's a way to do it, but have someone who knows how to do it grease it, because you might screw it up. Anyway, so this is what your Variator looks like. This one goes to the front, to the engine. This bottom one, this top one, goes to the back end. Now, looking at it from the bottom, this is left, this is right. The right one goes to the back, the left one goes to the front. So now let's go back to the 216. Thanks for that quick lesson. Alright, so let's go on ahead and get these off of here. Like I said, the back one goes to the front one goes to the transmission, the back one goes to the Variator, the engine. So, you gotta play with them a little bit. These belts actually don't feel bad. This back one might be okay to reuse. Why won't that? There we go. Huh. That actually looks okay. It's not cracked, it's more stretched. Alright, next. I'm not going to reuse either of them. I'm just going to get new ones. Yeah, I decided I'm going to get new ones instead of use the other ones. This belt doesn't look half bad either. Alright, I will get back to you when I get the new belts. Alright, so later on in the future, if I ever end up having to replace this belt again, I want it to be able to come off easily, or hopefully the next owner will have to. So remember what side goes in, this side. We're going to put it up. Now, we're going to grease this shaft so that it's easy to get this pulley on and the PTO clutch, and to kind of help prevent rust. There's a little bit of rust on it right now, but not quite enough to worry. So let me get some grease and we will grease this. You don't want to put too much on it, but you want to put enough on it to what's the word? You want to put enough on it to get it to work. I kind of put too much, but really can't put too much on it. There. Need to get a paintbrush. So let's do this. Put this on the end and spin it. No, it is not on the key yet. There we go. Alright, now that is greased. There we go. There. So now, yep, that is greased. Actually, oops. help that spread. There we go. Alright. So now we're going to stick the PTO back on there so I don't forget about it. I'm going to put this little bit around. Wipe off my hand here quick. Or my finger. I like these rubber slicks. They help out quite a bit with getting stuff up on here. So let me put this back on. I think I have it on there the right way. I think so. Where is... There's going to be little cups in here, little guards that this has the holes on here I have to grab onto. I'll show you guys them once we get... It's the belt guards. That's what you're hooking the... These right here, that one, and then there's this hole. Actually, just this one on top, and then there's this hole that it goes in. That's all it is, really. Give me a second, that is my phone. Sorry about that, guys, I had a call. I went on ahead and stuck this on here. This right here, the hole goes over this. That holds this from spinning all the way around. Alright. Alright, you guys, so new belts just came. This is your front belt, the one that goes to the motor behind the PTO. So you guys can see the model number, M82258. And then for your big one, this one goes up here. For your big one that goes to the back, this is it right here. M44121. You have to order John Deere specific belts because of the shape of them. Right here, this V, that's only something Deere does. If you get Stadens or a different brand belt, it's not going to work on your Deere, on your tractor. The way to replace and remove the belts on these is the exact same on here as all the 200 series, all the 100 series tractors. Not really anything different. So let's go ahead and we'll get this. Pull the PTO back off. Once we get this off of here, we can put that belt on it. I did go on here and I greased this. All the grease moved to the back, but that was planned. So there we go. Check out our belt. Alright. Now we're going to run it through. This is going to go to the back. The one in the back, like I said before. You want to skip your two guards. I forgot about this, and then once you get it past them, there's our side panel. So this goes to the one in the back, and then let me push down the clutch here quick. There we go. So now, I should go in there easy. I haven't had this running in a while, ever since I pulled that belt on. This would probably be better. Be a better way of doing that. Oh, there's a guard. I forgot about that guard. There we go. That's on the right one, right? Yeah. Yep. Alright, so now we're going to put the back one on. Let me move the camera. Oh, let's put the PTO back on there. Actually, I do want to make sure that it works like it should, because it seemed kind of loose where the variator is. Oh, I see why. There we go. Like that. There. Our belt's on there good. Pull the variator back all the way, and let me actually get this stuck on here quick so that the belt doesn't come back off. And then once we do that, we should be good. Be sure you line up your key on here with the key on the crankshaft key. I need to find it. Why isn't that going on there actually? Somebody honked. There we go. Alright. Now we need to find crank key. There we go, right there. Might be a little bit of a pain. There we go. There we got it. Where is that nut? There's a nut. Or bolt, not nut. Five years later. So now we got that on there. Let's go on ahead and I'll turn the key on with the PTO so we can tighten this down. What was that? There we go. Alright. Wish we had something to put this on. That'll tighten up over time. So we should be alright. There we go. And our key off. Now let's go on ahead and we will put the back one on. Alright, now let's go ahead and put the back one on. The back one can be tricky. Especially when you're going to put the pulley back on. So let me get the belt out of the box so that we can dig into it. There we go. Alright. Run this over to the variator, like I said before. There is a belt guard in here, so be ready to fight with it. I forgot about that belt guard. Where is... It appears to only be on the one side. Yep. That's weird. There's that one. Then don't forget your other belt guides that are in here. I can't remember, how does this go? Okay, I remember how this goes now. Yep. And that just came off. Whoops. Let's try that again. This time we'll get it on there right. Where's the guard? I know there's a guard on here. There we go. Never mind, there was no guard. Okay. Now that's on there. I remember how it goes. If I'm correct, yes. Alright, so now, once we have that on there, grab your pulley. You're going to have to fit this up into your gap. You need a way to hold that up. That's where this comes in. This hole, actually, I never... Perfect. Man, I wish the 100 series had that. Alright. So now, let's go on ahead and put this in there. This might be a pain, but there we go, we got it. Okay. First, what I like to do when I tighten these down is I'll take them and I'll tighten them down a little bit. Then I'll go to the next hole and I'll put the bolt in and tighten it down. Then the next hole and the next hole and the next hole, and you probably got the idea. So, like this. Spin the trans to find the hole. That went in there, right? There we go, right there. So if we can get it to stay right there. That's in. Now what you can do is you can put it in gear. As you go to tighten it, it'll hold it in place, but it might move the tractor, so you gotta be careful. Now if you get lucky, it might just move this wheel since you've got it pulled out of there. Or, let me grab a ratchet. We'll put this on, we'll tighten these bolts. Hopefully. Make sure that it's tightening. There we go. Alright, ready? I think I tightened them with a wrench actually. Yeah. I loosened them on a wrench, not tightened. So there we go. That's as tight as I'm gonna get it. They don't have to be very tight. Well, correction, they do have to be tight, but not tight to where you're gonna twist off the heads. You don't want to strip them out either. Right here's about good enough. And then just do it once over, make sure that they're all tight. Once you get all three of them done. Like that. That's tight enough about right there. So, pull that. There you go. So let me pop it in. Actually, it's out of gear, that's why. Let me, no. Hold on a minute. Why isn't it? Oh, I see why. That should be. So why isn't that turning over the motor? There we go. Pulled all the way back. Alright, we're going to have to adjust the variator since I'm thinking about that. So, let me get this wheel put back on here and then we'll adjust that variator. Right there. There goes the drill. Alright. Just going ahead and make sure that's on there and tight. I think it is, I think. Actually, I think it is. Nope, it just shot me. Alright, let's try that. the other one. Our bin might be out. When won't that go on? I hear gas slooshing around. Okay, let's try that. That's not on there at all. Let's see. I knew it would. Alright. Didn't fly away very far, did it? I have another one of them I could steal, do I? No. There we go. Hopefully. There we go. Now it's locked on there. I felt it click. Let's try it. Yep. It's locked in there pretty good. Alright. So let me go on ahead and I will move this tractor out of the way. Then we'll put this on the floor. One thing before I forget is we need to put that cover back on there. So let me grab that cover. Alright. Come on. There we go. There's some good things about these There's some good things about these and some bad things about these when it comes to working on tractors. These little rubbers. A lot of bad things and some good things. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Next. There we go. Alright. Let me grab that. Better action. All right, let's check. Nope. All right. Yep. That one's a little bit smaller. There we go. That should be nice and tight. There we go. All right. Let me finish getting everything off of here and then we will get the tractor off. Alright you guys, so adjust your variator. You're going to want to have your thing set at the 5th notch from the back. So it's going to be 2 away from the front. And you're going to want to grab your socket. This hole right here is where your variator bolt is. To adjust the variator, you're going to take your socket, you're going to put it in there, you're going to loosen it up. You don't have to loosen it very much, I'd say right about there. Then you're going to pull the boot off your spark plug and you're going to watch your foot pedal as it moves. Once it gets up to where it quits moving, tighten that back up. And then pull back your variator lever all the way and see if it drives. If it drives, that means you got a good belt. If it doesn't, that means your belt needs replaced. So I'm going to go on ahead and do that here quick. And we'll try it. Alright, so now we're going to go on ahead. We're going to tighten that back down. There we go. Doesn't need to be very tight, but you do want to have it tight so you know it's not going to... Right there is good. Alright, so now put your boot back on your plug. Fire your tractor and make sure that pull your variator back all the way and make sure it goes. If it doesn't go, that means something's wrong with your belt and or your tractor. Alright, let me get all this stuff off here quick. And put your plug back, don't forget. There we go. Alright, I'm going to put this stuff away quick. You guys ready? Should fire at it, hopefully. I'm going to let it go on for a second. Alright. This tractor actually has a bad variator, so that's why it's doing that. It's normal for it to do that, but for another tractor that's got a good variator, it shouldn't do that. So that's the reason it's doing that. So I'm going to take it out and drive it around a little bit, and then we'll bring it back and see if that helps it any. So I will be back. All right, you guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. It's getting late. I'd continue into tomorrow, but it's getting kind of late and I'm ready to go in. I figured out what was wrong with it. There's a spring underneath of it that I adjusted, and when I adjusted it, I must have made it too tight because now the Variator's not doing anything. No matter where you have it, it goes full speed, and if you pull it back all the way, it slows down. So I think I'm going to have to adjust that spring tomorrow. But once I adjust that, it should be good to go. So I'm going to go on ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.